So as a lot of you guys know, I really pride myself on the production value of videos on this channel. I try very hard, as does the whole team behind me, to keep production value up. And we put a lot of effort into the studio, into the lighting, into cameras, everything. So I thought today it could be interesting to give you a little behind the scenes sneak peek at the Luke Stevens studio, especially because we just moved into this new house. All of this is very fresh. There's still some things to be ironed out and tweaked here and there, but overall I'm pretty proud of the space. I'm pretty happy with it, and I want to show it to you today. And also a huge shout out to LG for sponsoring this video and hooking me up with the monitors you're gonna see in this video. They have taken over my desk and I am very, very impressed by them. I'm gonna tell you all about those monitors here in a little bit, but first, let's just do a sort of studio walkthrough to give you a vibe of the space. And here we are on the phone. You can see everything behind me. We're actually filming. I'm gonna give you a little walkthrough of the studio space, and you can see just how all of the magic happens. The first thing you can see, obviously, is the streaming computer here. This computer is actually completely separate from the one that's on my desk. It's actually that one right there, which runs all of this stuff that makes the magic happen. All of the cameras go to that computer. It's like the bread and butter. I still actually do game off of this computer when I'm testing secondary hardware and things, or if I want to just play a shooter, or sometimes I'm converting footage on my main like big boy PC here because it's pretty heavy duty, so that computer's taken, so I'll game off of this one. I grant you it's a very privileged position I'm in to be able to just casually use a secondary gaming PC to play on, but it's because I'm in a fortunate enough position to have two very powerful computers sitting literally right next to each other while we work on videos and do stuff. It's pretty crazy. And as you can see, this is the 45-inch ultra-wide monitor from LG. This thing is a monster. And then next to it is the 48-inch OLED monstrosity from LG as well. I am not joking when I say that these monitors are the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen. Like, gaming on them is such a delight. I can't even put it into words. Like, it is something you just have to experience. The color vividness, the contrast with the OLED panels allowing for perfect blacks, the sub-millisecond response times, like every aspect of these monitors just blows my mind, and I'm very humbled that I get the chance to use them day in, day out while we make these videos. I can't recommend them enough. And one of the coolest things about it is that with the ultra wide, when I want to play like a first person shooter, which I prefer to play on an ultra wide, I can just boot it up there. And because I have the monitor, let me show you, I actually have it on a swivel pivoting mount, so I can move it and re-angle it. If I try to do this with one hand, voila, just like that. And then as I play the games, my whole field of view is just completely taken up. And this is how I actually played Phantom Liberty, the big expansion for Cyberpunk 2077, which is the footage you're seeing on screen now. I had to ask my wife to help me film it because I'm one person and I can't really film over the shoulder stuff by myself. I'm not that talented, so you'll see that footage. But seriously, playing first-person shooters or anything first-person or even third-person games with wide FOVs on this monitor is just madness. It's crazy. And I will say that if you're interested in getting one of these gaming monitors for yourself, LG is having a big Black Friday sale, which I'll have linked in the description box below or in the pinned comment. Whether you're looking for an amazing ultra-wide monitor like this one, or if you're looking for something a little bit different, LG likely has it available at the link below on discount for Black Friday. Again, check it out at the link below. But if we now look right next to it, we have the two cameras. These are cameras I've had for ages. They're Sony a7S Mark IIs with Rokinon lenses. The lenses don't actually have autofocus on them, which I know for some YouTubers might be weird. I figure I'm sitting in one place in like 99.9% of my videos, just right here, so I don't need autofocus. I would just be paying for something I don't need. So the lenses don't have that, but I don't think they need it, so save some money there. But they're great cameras. They have randomly been dying recently, so they might be getting replaced in the near future, but I've had them forever. They're all open box, used, refurbished stuff, so they get the job done. And they're mounted to a Varipole that goes up to the ceiling. Nice and easy, just like the big soft locks with an Amaran or soft box light Dome Mini 2 is what it's called. That's mounted up there as well. The computers, the microphones, all of that stuff. A Valhalla 2 headphone amp for my Sennheiser HD 600s, I believe is what they're called. Yeah, that's what they're called. Those things are killer if you want some amazing audio. And of course, as I alluded to earlier, the 48-inch monstrosity before me. This thing, like, I don't know how to put it in perspective, because any angle in which it's in the frame and I'm also in the frame is just going to make it look smaller than it really is. But this thing is like the king of the 16:9 4K OLED amazing monitors that blows your socks off. So also highly recommend that. It's crazy good. But if we just keep working our way around the room, you can see down there we have a big old PS5. We have our Synology NAS server, an absolute rat's nest of cables, modem, and all that networking stuff. The goodness that keeps all of this running behind the scenes. Next to it, we have the Hogwarts Castle. We have the old kind of centerpiece furniture that was in the old studio, and curtains. I have this light mounted up here because I was trying to find a way to light the Lego sets to make them look good, but I haven't been happy with any of it, so I'm going to be figuring out how to light it. I don't know if this will move or if that will go away. I don't know yet. But if we move on to the next area, you see just outside of frame, we have a big old light with a focused beam targeting right where my head is. So you get the really nice hair light on the top of my body. That was a really weird way of saying that. Basically, if you want to be separated from the scene, you need to have a key light, which is what that big softbox is up there. And then you also need to have usually a fill light, which is what that is on the other side of my face. And then also a hair light, which sometimes people might call it a catch light, I think. I'm not sure of the exact terminology. I'm pretty sure that's what they call it though. But basically it's just a light that shines, hits the back of your head and shoulders, and gives a little bit of separation, making it clear that the background is the background and you're in another plane away from it. And it just looks cinematic. When people see it, they think it looks nice because reasons. If we go back to the actual shelves, you can see we have all of the collectibles that you could possibly need, including some that you don't. We have the Lego sets, we have collector's editions for some of my favorite or just most notable games. We still have a bunch of cable management, some stray wires from these new lights I just put up. I'm waiting on some cable extensions for those so that I can get them hidden away. Beyond that, we have more collectibles, a Magic the Gathering playset for parties and stuff. These are Lego sets we need to build. I'm just trying to find the time to build them. A box from Bethesda for Starfield. You guys know I wasn't the biggest fan of Starfield when it came out. I thought it was pretty good, but not amazing. But they did send me a little care package. It's actually where that white mouse I'm using comes from. That's from that care package. And it all came in that box, which honestly was too nice to get rid of. I just thought it was pretty. So I've just been keeping it because I'm a hoarder. Beneath that, you can also see that we have some Warhammer 40K models and boxes that aren't built yet. We'll come back to that in just a minute. And then we have the Lego Pyramid of Giza. We have dice and a dice tray for 40K. And then more collectibles. And I mentioned coming back to the Warhammer 40K stuff. That's because I have this, which is actually the same glass cases that used to be in the other studio, but now they are home to all of the Warhammer models that I play with. Some are painted and good to go and nice and pretty, like big old Magnus there and some Vortex Beasts. But others are still gray. This is probably my favorite model though. It's the Great Unclean one. Doesn't he look unclean? I also like that he has the little guys that he's like crawling on top of and they're getting squished. He's just a really cool model. So lots of Warhammer stuff with room to expand as well. And oh, how could I forget this? Behind the cases, because I can't find a good place for him, I have the cardboard cutout of the one and only, sorry Todd Howard. That's where he is. When he's not there, he's hiding in the closet. But today I did a video on the live channel where we talked about Todd Howard, and so I had to have him close by. And then beyond that, we have like a closet which has a bunch of storage. There's a bathroom, which is a bathroom, so I don't know why you'd want to see that. But this is This is the operation. This is the whole thing. I mean, it's kind of crazy when you look at it like this, because it doesn't seem that crazy. I mean, there's a lot of nuance and intricacy with how we set up all of the computer systems so that this one can talk to this one and then vice versa, and the cameras and audio and all of that stuff gets routed out correctly to the streaming PC. But I mean, that's just eventually comes after a lot of trial and error. But just like that, I mean, that is the whole thing. And then when it all comes together and we sit on camera, this is what it looks like, and this is how the videos happen, and it's that simple. It's kind of crazy. Now, one thing I will say just before we part ways is that I know a lot of people, especially up and coming YouTubers, might see this video, and I know this because I was one of the people that would feel this way, and I would see this and be like, wow, that studio's insane. I don't have that, therefore I can't make videos or I can't find success doing it. And honestly, that's just not true. Okay, like, I have this studio and we push for high production value because I'm kind of a perfectionist and I'm really anal about this kind of thing. But most of the biggest creators on the platform, on any platform really, don't have very nice setups. Like, there's actually a reason to believe that the nicer your setup is, the less successful you find yourself. Like, if you look at any of the top 10 streamers on the planet in any country or language, they all, usually with like one or two exceptions in the top 10, have setups using, you know, $100 webcam. Maybe they just have like a lamp that they turn on for their face cam. You know, they're making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, but you would never guess that based on their setup. So never think that you are being held back by that. If anything, don't push yourself to this degree, because it's a lot of work and it's taken a long time to get it here, and it's expensive, and there's a lot of fine tuning that is involved with it. But instead, focus on the content, focus on what you're really passionate about making, and let that speak for itself. I mean, the production value can come eventually once you're making some money doing it, or if you're doing it as a job. But in the meantime, just embrace the fun of content creation. Let that be your driving force. And speaking of driving forces, for me, it's you guys. You guys have made all of this possible. You make my dreams come true every single day, and I am humbled that you would watch this video and all of the other ones that I put together. So truly thank you. But with that, I'm gonna call it. My voice is going out because I think I'm getting sick. So we're gonna call it there. Again, shout out to LG for the amazing monitors, for sponsoring this video and others that we've done. The monitors really are just like crazy. I cannot put into words just how amazing they are. I used to work selling premium TVs through Magnolia Home Theater, which now is owned by like Best Buy and stuff. And so when I was selling TVs, I was always impressed by the panels LG was able to put out. And now to see this quality of panel being used in monitors for gaming and stuff, it is mind-blowing. Seriously, these things will knock your socks off. And LG is actually doing a huge Black Friday sale to celebrate 2023, and if you're interested, check them out at the link in the video description box below or in the pinned comment. Seriously, their whole lineup is amazing. There's going to be awesome discounts on all of it, so if you've been thinking about upgrading your computer monitor, definitely check those out below. I cannot recommend them enough. But with that, I'll see you. Much love, hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.